So there's a rumour floating around on the internet about the Final Fantasy 15 DLCs. Now, I've read them, and I'll just say, I think that this is bullshit. I do. Where it's come from isn't very credible. I believe this came from NeoGAF, but I've seen it floating around, and the reason I want to cover it in this video is because it's everything I want. It's everything I want. It's everything I've dreamed of, and that's why I kind of can't believe it's real, because it's just too good to be true. And it kind of sounds like it's just a fan who's writing what they want, sort of their hopes and dreams. But let's cover it anyway. So let's break down to it. So apparently this is being spread around as legit, but the first part is the 1.05 update makes Somnus play through final dungeon, Insomnia, through fights. I don't even know if that sentence makes sense. Makes Somnus play through final dungeon, Insomnia through fights. I don't know. Further development of Final Fantasy 15 is ongoing. Skipping on to the next one. Additional cutscenes with Ravus and Niflheim to be added into new game mode, in addition to episode Prompto content. About the most believable line there, of course we do know that Ravus' motivations and everything to do with the Niflheim Empire will be getting fleshed out. Super dope. Super dope. And episode Prompto, I think, is also going to kind of be along those lines. Remember, we saw Prompto in that Gralia in the outfit, the snow outfit, which kind of implied Gralia. And we know that his dad is for Stale. So do I think that they'll probably tie up Ravus and Niflheim's free cutscenes with Promptos? I believe it. I believe it. Moving on, additional cutscenes with Noctis and Luna to be added into new game mode. Yeah, that's just wishful thinking. That bit is too unbelievable. Additional cutscenes with Noctis and Luna. How is that even possible? I mean, we played the game and we know that Noctis never got to reunite with Luna. So unless those scenes are childhood scenes, which I feel are kind of redundant at this point. I mean, we've pretty much seen between Brotherhood and flashbacks in the game. We've pretty much seen the entirety of Noctis and Luna's younger relationship. Perhaps there's more, but yeah, I can't believe that. It definitely can't be the adult versions of them. But moving on, additional cutscenes with Corleonis and Regis to be added into new game mode, in addition to the episode Gladiolus content. So we know that Corleonis is going on the ride with Gladiolus. So that's highly believable. Personally, I was really hoping for the episode Gladiolus to have some Clarus in it. That would be so good. But perhaps maybe it will be Regis. Who knows? Next up, we have Platinum Demo to be added to main game as a bonus mode. And I believe I've heard that before, that they will be making the Platinum Demo available again. They kind of pulled it after extending it for 2 months. And they did extend it by 2 months, quote, due to popular demand. So will they add it back as a bonus mode? I don't see why not, but at the same time, who the fuck wants to play Platinum Demo? Really guys, I got to say I did not enjoy that demo. It was fantastic for showing the night cycles, the day-night cycles, the weather effects, and some very base mechanics that are kind of now redundant. But all in all, it was kind of like a tech demo more than anything, but it is what it is. Next up, we have episode Ignis to be released Q4 2017. That is kind of when I would expect it to be, that late in the year, so no surprises there. But here's where it gets crazy, guys. This is where we delve into the realms of just pure unbelievable bullshit. So the unannounced expansion that Square Enix talked about, according to this rumour, is the World of Verses. And that is to be unveiled at E3 2017 with a release of Q1 2018. Expect this to be a much darker tone of the base game. I mean, let's just stop here. Come on. A World of Verses. I mean, that's just too hard to be true. But the reason why this would be perfect, if I continue reading on. The demons Noctis faces during his 10-year slumber. This is the Verses world. The world of dreams that Noctis can enter in his slumber. Themes of loss and tragedy will be developed and expanded upon. No further updates until at this time. Wow. Now, I can't believe that. And honestly, I've not been someone who said, oh, they should completely remake and still do Versus 13. Even though I think that'd be pretty dope. But this would be amazing, guys. I will just say I can't believe it. It's too good to be true. If it was the case that they did this, this is what would bump the game up to a masterpiece. And I kind of feel like this is what needed, because this would make 100% sense on a lore level. If in those 10 years slumber, we did go to the world of verses. And you know, why is Noctis in slumber? Well, the reason he's in slumber and the reason he's gone into the crystal is so he can become the king of light. And it takes him 10 years to become that. So the implication is that Noctis is having to purify himself, that he's having to fight with his inner demons. And that is why, when I look at Versus 13, you know, with Noctis with the red eyes, and it being a bit more savage and brutal, that really would fit. I'll just say, guys, that really would fit with a darker side of Noctis coming through. And it would just be dope, exploring the world, falling to darkness, and having that dark, gritty tone, and those 10 years. And of course, that would essentially be like a Dark World DLC. And then I've even thought deeper, let's look at the characters that would be involved. And when I thought about that, one name came to mind. Just imagine if they did do this world of verses. Again, I don't believe it. Luna came to mind, and there was one quote. When the world falls down around you and hope is lost, when you find yourself alone amid a lightless place, look to the distance, know that I am there and that I watch over you always. Farewell, dear Noctis. Oh my goodness, guys, imagine it. Imagine if Luna guided Noctis, or this was the place where Noctis and Luna had some time together in the world of verses, because she said that when he found himself amid a lightless place, she would be there. And all I can say is, if they did that, and I place this game as a subjective 8 to 8.5 out of 10, and I say subjective, the reason I give it a higher subjective score is because I've gone away, I've followed the development of this for so long, and I've seen Kingsglaive, and I've seen Brotherhood, and I've researched the characters, and I've gone off and I've explored the story that really most people haven't. I say most people who played the game, they haven't gone off and explored all the intricacies of this story, the Greek mythology, you know, the whole story with Ifrit and Eos. Things that have really upped my personal appreciation for it. So that's why subjectively I place this game a lot higher than I actually score objectively. Honestly, objectively, I would only score this game about a 7.5 out of 10 because I can see the flaws, and I can see that a game should not expect people to interpret artwork in the same kind of depth that some of us hardcore fans do. But all of that aside, honestly, if they was to release this World of Verses, a DLC that is just far too good to be true, because this would be the absolute best thing for them to release. It would make me so hyped. I think it would push the game from a objective 7.5 to possibly even 8.5, because that would fill in all the blanks, guys. Think about it. It would be the dark and gritty tone we wanted. It would be the Luna and Noctis scenes that we wanted, and you know, fleshing out their relationship more. Inevitably, a World of Verses would be Arden centered. Arden is the center of the Scourge, and it would explore the Scourge in a much deeper way. A World of Verses DLC while he's in the crystal, and of course the summons would get far more involved as well. Remember, it was Bahamut who is controlling the crystal, and he's in the crystal as well. Hell, guys, in a World of Verses, let me tell you straight what I would like it to be. I'd like it for the summons not to be in their summon form, because this is the World of Verses. Think of how trippy they could make it. Think of all the, for example, they could have Bahamut in his Nadir form, in his green armoured form. They could have Shiva as Gentiana again. They could even have Ifrit as his original messenger form. And they could really explore it. So there it is, guys. That's the rumour on the table. I'm going to stop fangirling about this because and stop trying to even get my hopes up, because I just can't believe it's true. All of that doesn't even sound like it's worded by Square Enix, and honestly, if I had to sit and fantasize about what the updates would be, this is what it would actually look like. Like me, you probably don't believe it, but regardless, how would you feel if this was legit? Imagine if this got posted on Square Enix's website. How hyped would you be? Let me know in the comment section below, because I think that would be absolutely off the hook. Until the next video. Kupo!